Okay, just as you're taking a look at the topics, I just want to remind you of something. You can take a look up here and you can highlight on your sheet. Really important. If I don't see evidence from Acts 4 and 5, the essay can't pass. It's not complete. And I think you would find it extremely difficult to write on any of these topics without having evidence from scenes 4 and 5, or Acts 4 and 5. It would be literally impossible for you to do a good job of any of these topics without them. So make sure that you show evidence from those acts when you write your outline. Okay? All right, so I'm going to show you a handout that exists on the Wiki already. I put it up there for you. I did not copy it out for everyone because not everyone might be interested in it. I think it's really good, and I think it's a great place to actually start your brainstorming. So the sheet, if you take a look at your topics, your question might involve a character, a theme, it might involve plot. Whichever one it does, you'll go to the sheet that looks like this, and you might start looking at the questions. This could really help you brainstorm. Let's say you're doing something to do with Romeo or to do with women, right? Look at all the questions you could ask. What are the functions of the other characters? Do they any serve to bring out certain aspects of the main character? So this could get you thinking about your topic. Do you see that? Right? Start answering the questions for yourself, and then you would have possible brainstorming. Okay, so you can find this on the Wiki. It's up there. I've already posted today's, all the handouts that you're seeing today are on there, so you don't have to worry about that. And this is a great one to print off or at least look at. You don't need to print it necessarily, but you can look at it, okay? All right. Now, Emma, you asked me, what would brainstorming and categorizing look like? Now, typically, out of the way, typically you would do maybe a web. I'm not saying you have to do a web. This is just one possibility. However you brainstorm, if it's a gigantic map and you just start writing, that's fine. I just need that piece of paper to come to me and label it brainstorming, okay? Categorizing, you take all these lovely ideas, whatever you wrote here, and then you need to filter them down into your categorizing. So it should end up with 3 subtopic ideas, right? And then your ideas are just written here. Now the ideas do not have to be perfected at this point. It's just that you're categorizing them. It isn't until the outline that you put all of this together. And the outline looks like this, okay? Which I'll give you right now. Looking at the outline, please. With me, Kim? Okay. Looking at the outline, I've put everything I can here. It's actually more detailed than the one you're looking at here. The one in your hand has more direction. But if you want to type into this one, it exists on the Wiki. Okay? So, details that I want to remind you of. You have a spot for your thesis, and the thesis needs to be general. Yes. Okay? So it needs to be general. And I've actually indicated on the top of your other sheet there the formula to do that. Okay, so again, remember, it's a formula. Make sure you have it. We're going to work on them in just a second. You do need to include your works cited page when you do this, and I've reminded you there, but make sure all your citations are clear. So for example, whichever way you do it, you have to make sure that the line numbers are all there. Okay, properly cited. Any proof. I should not have to go looking on your outline. If you write in proof here, I shouldn't have to go looking for it. Don't just write 1:1:23. No, okay? I actually need the quotation. I know the play well, but I don't know it that well, and I don't need to do the work. You do. So make sure you put the quotation in properly, word for word. Now, as I'm showing you here, I'm asking for 2 points and proofs and explanations, right? See that? Okay. If you want, you are not limited to 2. If you want to put in a third one, you can. You can just tack it on there. Okay? I'm not limiting you. It's not necessary, but if you find that there's one other point that you really think would be great, put it in there. Okay? All right. So again, topic sentence 2 is there, topic sentence 3, and I actually mentioned to you on there about the transition words. Okay? I was talking about alphabetical order, but I was thinking of the culminating here. You don't need alphabetical order, there's only one, right? So nothing to worry about. Echo thesis, please remember to reword it. Don't just copy and paste your thesis there. You need to reword it. Any questions about the outline? Emma?
So the brainstorming is when we do jot notes.
Yep.
And then the categorizing would be after the brainstorming, we take the best three subtopics from that brainstorming and put it in the outline.
Yeah, you're filtering it down. Absolutely. Okay. And then, so I just need to see that you did some brainstorming, that you did some categorizing, that I can give you marks for, right? The more that you do, the more that I see the evidence, then you get into that 5 marks, right? And the outline has been putting into proper categories. Yes? Evan?
What's a hook? I forgot what it means.
A hook. Okay, so on your outline, you might see the word hook. So let's go back here for a second. So if I'm putting a hook on here, that means I'm connecting either my last paragraph to this paragraph, or I'm connecting this paragraph back to my thesis. Okay? So I have to hear some kind of echo of the thesis in my topic sentence. Okay, that's because if you don't have that, that means that you're not really thinking about it. It's becoming this thing that lives on its own, and you can't have a paragraph live on its own. It has to be part of the bigger thesis. Yes? Okay. Whoops. Okay. So I want to. Okay. So follow with me here. This is another way you could attack brainstorming. You can try it. Some people love it. Some people hate it. So you can either take it with you or not. I usually show this to my 4Us. But if I were to give you this question on Hamlet, now you've never read Hamlet, and this is probably better for us to come up with some questions. But if I said to you, when Hamlet at the end of the play tells Horatio the readiness is all, it suggests he has new insight and has discovered the error of his ways. Write an essay that would shed some light on what Hamlet means by this. What is his newfound readiness? Okay? Looking at this topic, what are some questions you might ask about the topic? What do you need to know, or what are you thinking about? Emma?
What did Horatio do in the past? Or what did Hamlet do in the past?
Okay. Jen, do you have another?
Why is it all of a sudden he's discovered that he's done wrong?
I'm just going to say errors here, or wrong. Yeah, okay. Ian?
What is readiness? Like what?
Another one?
Is there something because you haven't really asking before?
Okay. Okay.
What's the relationship between Hamlet and Horatio that makes him like such an important person?
So is it significant, right? We could go on and on, okay? So here's what I want you to see. By asking the questions, you know what you could do? So let's just look at some possible questions. This might be brainstorming, right, at this point. So I've brainstormed possible questions. What were his errors? How many? Were some more serious? What was the worst? What kind? What makes him now ready, which you mentioned. What is meant by readiness, okay? Watch what happens. Really, really nice. It becomes an outline. And by answering the questions, I have my essay. So, or rather, this is categorizing into an outline, which by answering the questions becomes my essay. Do you see how nice that is? Do you see how that works?
Oh my goodness.
It's a possibility. And I can put this for you. I have a handout that shows this exactly as it is here on the wiki. If you want to try this, you can. It's just another way to start your brainstorming categorizing. Some people find it easier to ask the questions and then answer the questions.